Hi everyone, it's Todd Brown from Next Action Associates. Been doing some thinking recently about balance. Been thinking a lot about balance. We've just moved into a new house. I'm sitting in the about hip deep in cardboard in what will be the study in our new house. And as I've been reflecting on how I've chosen to spend my time over the last week or so as we've been moving in, one of the things that's occurred to me is that balance is key. And in my own life and also in the work that I do with clients, quite often I find that the balance that I have, that the balance seems wrong, that the types of activities that I'm engaged in aren't really the types of activities that if I really dug deep and asked the question, is this really what I should be engaged in now, I could answer with confidence, yes, this is it. And so in times like this, I find that one of the models that Getting Things Done provides can be really helpful. It's a model called the Threefold Nature of Work model. And the threefold nature of work implies that there are basically three types of productive activity. There's what we call predefined work. So there is work that you had defined in the past and that you choose to do. So every time you go to a meeting that's in your calendar, every time that you execute a next action that's on one of your action lists, those would be examples of doing predefined work. The second type of work is what we call doing work as it appears, or doing unplanned work. And this is what you're engaged in those situations where something really urgent or particularly important arrives, and you just choose to engage in it immediately. So there's no sort of, okay, I'm going to clarify and organize this with the intention that I'm going to work on it later. This feels like the right thing for me to do right now. And then the third type of work that the model talks about is what we call defining your work. So planning, right? In Getting Things Done terms, that might include clarifying and organizing, deciding next actions and deciding outcomes, and then organizing the results of that thinking. So in a nutshell, the model, I think, can be helpful in two ways. One way is that it quite often, in a higher level sense, if you're asking yourself the question, do I have the right balance in my life overall, right? So am I spending enough time as I make my way through a typical week? Am I spending enough time doing predefined work? Am I spending enough time defining my work? And so if you find that you think to yourself, well, on reflection, I don't think I'm doing enough predefined work. I'm letting the world drive me a bit too much. I'm responding to the things that are arriving in my inbox, for example. And if you have that feeling, then a way out of that might be just to simply block some time in your diary over the next little while to do work off your lists, right? To do some more of your predefined work. If, on the other hand, you feel like, I'm not doing enough defining. I feel like, I'm looking at my email inbox and what I'm seeing is a bunch of undifferentiated things that I've not really clarified. I've not really made clear what these are to me. If that's the case, then maybe what you want to do is again, just use your calendar to encourage you to focus a little bit more in these directions. Use your calendar to block some time and call that time, clarifying and organizing to ensure that you get more balance in that direction. So as I say, I think the model can be helpful to help us to determine whether we have the balance right in our lives overall. And another way that I think that the model is helpful is that it can be used really in the moment to ask the question, hey, this thing that I'm doing right now, is this the thing I should be doing? Am I, engaged in predefined work? Am I defining my work, or am I, simply doing work as it appears? And is the thing that I'm doing right now the right choice? And if the answer is no, well, then the model encourages you to think about what you should be engaged in. And if the answer is yes, great. If you've got the confidence that you are right now focused on the right work, whatever that is, no one can really ask more of you than that.